Welcome once again to the Ben Smith Coaches Show here on the BCHS Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. I'd like to thank Mr. Sroy's class, his broadcast class, for all the great work they do in producing these shows here each week for all of our different sports and functions here at Bradley Central High School. It's greatly appreciated. Sometimes we fail to recognize them, and guys, we appreciate all of you guys behind the scenes. You don't see them in the control room and so forth. Mr. Sroyer overseeing all of that and making it happen and look good. And Coach Ben Smith, today, you didn't bring a wrestler. Well, you brought a wrestler in a sense with you, but not one that's currently eligible to wrestle for Bradley.
Both my girls both our girls that we were going to bring with us today, they're currently taking finals, and we had Austin McClure state medalist and team captain last week, and I thought, man, let's get some girls. Our girls had a great weekend last weekend, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a minute. And I thought, well, the next best thing is my right hand man and Coach Blackman, and he's a assistant of mine, but really we coach together. I got Coach Blackman over in D1 getting our tournament ready for the weekend, and he was given a final, but he's got a student teacher, so I went and grabbed Coach. And
Okay.
So Coach Blackman, who, like I said, he's state champion here. My first year coaching was his senior year. Grew up with him and his family. Rusty Blackman, his brother, state champion as well. So, the heritage and tradition and bloodline is real thick here at Bradley. So he's a great fit to have with us today.
Bradley DNA there, Coach Blackman. There. How long have you been coaching with the staff now?
I think this is year number 7.
7, yeah.
And in the wrestling team, what area do you specifically work with? Is it assigned to different?
No, I mean,
everybody?
Coach Smith and I we kind of cover all areas, everything from light weights to upper weights to our girls. I mean, he and I kind of blend in all over the place.
I would say that he likes to say he's the best almost head coach in the state of Tennessee, and I would agree with that.
Can't deny that, right?
Now between he and Austin Matthews and I, we're probably outside of our girls coaches. They're definitely the most active and in the room on a consistent basis coaches. But yeah, coaches, he's a technique strategist with me, and he shows a lot of technique with me, and he watches a lot of film. I'm not real smart, and I don't have a high level of patience, and so I watch a match, and in my mind, I'm like, yeah, we can win that. And he'll break things down. And so he's way more valuable than what he says, but or what he acts like. But he's a great commodity for me to have. And he's one of my best friends. So, man, it's like coaching with your family. So it's good.
Great. Then. What do you teach here, Coach?
Right now I'm teaching econ, personal finance, and world history.
All the financial things, plus a little history in there.
Yes.
Well, that's great there. Let's get things caught up now.
Sure.
Since we last talked, a lot of things are going on.
Sure.
You've had some matches with boys and girls. And tell us, give us an update on how it all stands.
Yeah, just real quick update. So last week we wrestled. We had a tri-match. I think the day that we met last, we had Heritage. Howard and McMinn, and that was kind of formality. No disrespect to them or their program, but their region opponents. We had a lot of mat time that night, and then we wrestled number 9 Arlington here at home on Friday after a cancellation with Saudi Daisy. Illness is kind of running in the wrestling world right now, which is good. I'd rather get it out of the way early, but.
Right.
We had 2 matches with Saudi, who we'd already wrestled with our JV, Signal, and then Saudi canceled. But we were here Friday night with Arlington, beat them 45, 50 points.
Yeah.
Number 9th ranked team. We're number 3, so we put one on them pretty good. It was a good night. Followed up the next day, our girls were in Stone Memorial, Crossville, I-40 Clash champions.
I heard that.
2 champions, 2 runner-ups, a third, so and then all of our girls won matches. So that's our first tournament win in Bradley wrestling girls history. Got some girls ranked in the state now. Got some girls that knocked off some ranked girls, and we were across town at the Cleveland Duels, and we defended our number 3 ranking. We beat number 4 Summit in a pretty close match, and then we beat Blackman, number 5. In a pretty good match there. Lost a close one to tournament runner-up Woodland by what, 3 or 4, 4 or 5?
Yeah, I think it was like 5 or 6.
Came down to the last
like
match. One of my teammates from college, he's the head coach there. They're 3-time defending state champions, and we had them. Appreciate it, Coach Knox. We had them first team out of the gate on Saturday morning, and we lost to them, I think, 36-32. Came down to the last match, but. It was a good day. We had Hickson, small school powerhouse Hickson last night, and didn't have much trouble. And we're currently getting ready for the Bradley Invitational this weekend.
And let's talk about that. That takes an awful lot of work because there are a lot of teams here, a lot of people. You depend on your parents, your volunteers, your fans of wrestling at Bradley. And Coach Blackman, I've been here for those. There's a lot of wrestling going on for a long time.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
And what's it look like this year? How many teams you going to have in, and who are the teams? Now, this is not a duels match. This is just traditional.
It's called a traditional,
Individual.
so it's an individual. It's a 32-man bracket, so we have 32 teams coming in. Hopefully, we'll be able to fill most of those brackets. The idea is to be the toughest 32-man bracket this side of Christmas. We want it to mimic the state tournament. We want people to think, man, if I place in the Bradley Invitational, then I can be a state medalist. So a lot of times it's a turning point for kids and for teams and for coaches. And you know, as far as Bradley wrestling is concerned, it's kind of a homecoming. You know, school's out, alumni are in. You know, David Clark singing the national anthem before the finals, and it's just it's a beautiful thing, and it is a lot of work. I mean, like I said, Coach Anglin. I'll probably have him here with me after Christmas, but right now he's too valuable. One of the neat things that we're doing this year is we're going to have a mat dedicated on Saturday for girls competition. With the idea of next year, we hope to have a Bradley Girls Invitational at Lake Forest, hosted simultaneous here with the Boys Invitational here. So again, you know, the whole idea is we want to grow things and we want to improve, and Coach Jackson and Coach Logsdon in the tournament that they started, I think this is our 30th year having the Invitational. The idea is to, you know, take what you got and make it better. And it was already a great product, and the time that we've had together as coaches and that I've been here, I think we've grown it. And Coach Jackson kind of, he's like, man, we got 32 teams. How are we going to do it? I get it. But we have wonderful fans. We have wonderful family. We have wonderful help. And, man, you know, a gift card and a pat on the back and a thank you note isn't enough for these people. Right. But, you know, it is a big weekend, you know.
People that love wrestling.
Love wrestling. So, and it's great to have our kids in our gym. We get to sleep in our own bed. We get to wrestle in our own gym. And, I mean, it's a wonderful weekend.
How many mats have you been using during the course of it?
3 on the bottom, 3 up top, and then we're bringing in a mat from Ooltewah. Coach Manning and Coach Dunbar are bringing in a mat. We're going to put a warm-up mat for the girls in our building. So 7 mats will be on site that weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of. So out of 32 teams, if they wrestle all weight classes, you're going to have hundreds of wrestlers.
Oh my gosh, yeah, 14 times 32, and then we've got 100 plus girls.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be packed. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, I know I'm talking to a basketball fan, but like that is a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
When basketball's away traveling, we've got the gym, man. It's really neat to see it all come together. And man, it's just in our gym, man. People love our gym, the old wooden gym with the banners and the rafters, man. It's just, I love seeing new teams come in and they'll look up and
what are we getting into?
well, yeah, it's like, man, yeah, it's really neat. So it's not a cookie cutter gym like a lot of schools have now. It's a beautiful gym.
And you got that big showcase, trophy case. You walk in the door right there on the right. It's just nothing.
Yeah,
but
I think
wrestling.
we had to build another one a few years ago. So you
sure
walk
did.
between 2 trophy cases.
It's nothing but wrestling in there. And that's just the state championship ones.
That's just, and it doesn't count the runner-ups and all that stuff. Yeah.
And other schools, you know, we finished second, we finished second's great. You know, I'm not putting anybody down, but you know. And a tournament like this, you don't go in there and think, well, we're going to win every match, but you go in there and think, we need to come out of here with something for every match that we've learned as a wrestler, you know.
Yeah.
Why did this guy beat me, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess that's why you review film and look at that, Coach. That how you guys look at it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this time of year for us, and as Coach said, you know, this is a good simulation for what the state tournament's going to look like. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if we can pull away, like, you know, what your warm-up looked like and what can we change here, you know, what type of progression can we make from this point leading into late January, mid to late January, and into February when at the end of the day, that's when it really counts. Mm-hmm. But this gives us a good, I guess, measuring point to kind of see where we're at and where we need to go from a coaching standpoint as far as technique and linking stuff together and, you know, trying to make sure our guys are peaking at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you come back to the break now, do you still have challenge matches? Mm-hmm. The weight classes wrestle off, okay? Mm-hmm. This guy may have been a starter first of the year. Maybe this guy's come on strong. Something happened. He's just gotten stronger.
You must have been listening to our conversation we were having over there, because that's you know, like I said, Coach. You know, we both teach, but I mean, I teach PE and weightlifting and leadership, and he teaches. He's in a classroom a lot. Now, granted, there's a lot of history department parties this time of year. And I don't know how much teaching's going on there, but we don't get to see each other a whole lot during the day. So when we do get to see each other outside of, hey, how's the family? You know, did you make it home safe last night? And usually it turns into, you know, all right, you know, and that's what we're talking about. Like, look, hey, you know, so-and-so's, their flights got canceled. They're not going to be back till this date. And, man, the challenge matches are starting here. But, you know, along those same lines, you know, hearing Coach Reuter's spiel, like, we give, after the Invitational, we give our guys some time off. And that's something that has always been in place here prior to us wrestling and coaching here together. And that's something that is very unique to our program, and the fact that there's a 2-pound growth allowance that happens at midnight, 12:01 on 12/26. Okay. So we give our guys, because Thanksgiving, holidays, like these guys have been working hard since the dead period ended. So we give them a break to go travel and to grow and to go see their family, and we get to go see. I'm going out of town that Sunday afternoon. I mean, he's going out of town, I think, Monday. I mean, you know, but the whole goal is to, in that break, is to hit that reset button and to rest and recover. And our sport is so arduous. It's so difficult, and being in that room every day, day after day, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., it wears on them. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, but as soon as we come back, our guys know, and literally tomorrow I'm going to take challenge matches. Like, hey, when you come back from the break, who's challenging and where?
Okay.
Because we've got some guys that are descending, and we've got some guys that we're shuffling. But challenge matches will come back on the 27th. Challenge matches will probably start on the 29th. And we compete on the 4th. I mean, I've got a JV squad going to a varsity tournament on the 1st. But, I mean, challenge matches have to start. And like he said, I mean, you know, we've literally had guys that were number 2 ranked guys in the state that won or were finalists at the Brand Invitational, and they lose their challenge matches. I mean, we've won and lost state titles in our challenge. I promise you. Yeah. You know, so now, if they win it and they perform, they're our starter for the entire year. Now, if they win it and they don't perform, and there's a split. You know, Gary won first semester, Bryant won second semester. Then we'll revisit that after the state duels. Okay. But, yeah, our lineup will probably be fine. Hopefully, we haven't had our lineup set one match this year. So yes. Hopefully, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise come January 4th, leading into that big match on January 13th with Cleveland here. Hopefully, we're locked and loaded and set and ready.
Who will be your first match after the break when you come back?
Ooltewah, at Ooltewah.
At Ooltewah down there. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get into that region competition a little bit more afterwards. So really, like, our schedule picks up a little bit, but there's also some matches that, like, we have to wrestle. And, you know, I mean, Coach Dunbar and Coach Manning, I mean, they know. I mean, but we have to wrestle that match, but we want some momentum coming into that Cleveland match.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go back to the Brand Invitational this weekend.
Sure.
Weigh-ins that morning, I suppose, and you start at what time?
Well, we're going to weigh in, because it's an abbreviated day, we're going to weigh in from 1 to 2. Wrestling starts at 3.
Okay.
And then on Friday, you have to re-weigh in again with
Saturday.
a 1. I'm sorry,
Saturday.
yeah. Sorry, Coach.
That's what I was going to ask about.
You have to weigh in again on Saturday from 6 to 7, and wrestling starts at 9. No, weigh-ins are 7 to 8. Wrestling starts at 9.
9 a.m.
Finals are going to be slated roughly for that 3 to 4 o'clock time frame. We'll run them as quick as we can and as soon as we can to get teams home and out of here safe. But yeah, usually in that 3 to 4 o'clock time frame, we'll have first and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth, and then we'll have some girls' matches going on upstairs, and we'll call it a day.
Once you weigh in that morning, let's say that Saturday morning, and okay, I make weight. Can I go eat then?
You can be fatter than Santa after that if you want to. I don't care. You can be fatter than Santa at that
point. Because you need to
yeah.
keep your strength. You're going to wrestle more than once during the day. You got to keep your strength up.
Yeah. Well, like Coach said, you know, and like some of the takeaways that we have right now, like, you know, we're not just talking about free throw percentage like you and Coach Reuter were. Like, we're talking about, like, how does Eli Duncan warm up? Mm-hmm. Like, why did he look out of condition in that third period there? What did he eat? What was your nutrition like that day? You know? And so, like, we're evaluating our guys on all areas, nutritionally, hydration, like, performance-wise, you know.
What your warm-up look like.
Yeah, what your warm-up look like. Yeah, because, like, if you're progressively getting better as the day goes on or you're declining as the day goes on, like,
you're doing something
if you're
right.
not sick,
yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so like you said, this is the biggest barometer for us as far as, like, what is the third weekend in February going to look like for these guys? Mm-hmm. Can they handle a 2 to 3 day weigh-ins and still perform at a high caliber? Because, like, I mean, we got 4 or 5 states represented. We got the best team in Georgia coming up. One of the best teams in Georgia coming up. We got one of the best teams in South Carolina coming over. One of the best teams from Alabama coming up. And then we've got a pretty good team from North Carolina coming. So, I mean, you better, not to mention Cleveland, McCallie, us. I mean, you better be ready to wrestle. So.
Or most of these teams in the tournament this year are returning teams that have been coming back for years and years.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of turnover.
So obviously, they think it's a valuable.
We try to book 40 teams, knowing that the week of we're going to have 3 or 4 drop, or hey, we're sick or we're hurt. And then we're going to have, we always leave room for like the team that, hey man, they're really good this year, and usually they would go to CCS, but now they want to come to us. So we always leave room for those teams, but usually it's the same carbon copy, 28 to 32 teams.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best of luck this weekend. Coach Blackman, thank you as always for being with us again. He's been with us several times before, and Coach, we will see you after the break. Good luck during the break. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, successful New Year. And folks, as we say, remember the reason for the season.
That's right, man.
It's the birth of Christ child. Keep that in mind. Sometimes we overlook that in our celebrations and everything.
That's right.
So until next time, this is Gary Ownbey for Coach Blackman, Coach whatever his name is.
Smith. Very forgettable.
Easy.
Yeah.
I knew that. Saying God bless and go Bears and Bears.